Alright, shalom, brothers and sisters, all the elders pushing the truth in all sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and all the highways and byways. I want to get into this. All praises also to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Barakatim. Cannot forget about our Father. Cannot forget about Father to honor and give him all the glory for everything that's done. It's done on his will and for him only. It's not done for my glory. It's not done for me or to get famous or anything like that. It's to expose the wicked out there. Let's go into this. It's all about the circumcision and what's going on with these fake Jews out there in this Jewish community, who claim to be from the tribe of Judah but are not. They're fake. They're not from the tribe of Judah. For those who don't know, the tribe of Judah are those so-called Negroes, and so-called Native Americans and Latinos. You need to understand what tribe you're from as well, because we're all in this together. It's not just about one tribe or the other, even though there are those tribes that are the head of Israel. We are the body as well, so we need to be together. It's very, very crazy what's going on right now. If you don't believe anything, in Genesis, obviously this between circumcision, what we have going is the cleansing of the body, is to be clean. Righteousness is being clean. You're clean, you're righteous. If you're dirty, you're unrighteous. This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. For every man-child among you shall be circumcised. And ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant between me and you. So it's a covenant between you and Yahweh. Well, this is in Genesis chapter 17, verses 10 through 11, and it tells you and he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generation, he that is born in your house or bought with money from any stranger, which is not of thy seed. So if you were to have adopted or bought a child, you're supposed to circumcise him. It's just a cleansing. It's a cleansing in the covenant that he had. Let's get into the video, because these guys are not, like I said, we're already exposing that they're not the real Jews which the Bible speaks of. So let's bring out some more stuff that they're doing that they shouldn't be doing, and let's just get into the video. Buffering, come on.
Disturbing allegations are surfacing in a very unexpected place. A man who is supposed to bring joy and holiness to the Jewish ritual of circumcision is now accused of something unthinkable, spreading a deadly disease to innocent babies. News 12's Tara Rosenblum joins us now with her special report, Cradle of Secrets. It's a topic that not many people want to talk about, but an unlikely whistleblower, a young Orthodox Jewish woman, is now speaking out, claiming a local rabbi is infecting babies, making them sick. And what's worse, she says no one is doing anything to stop him. For centuries, when a Jewish baby boy is born, the ancient ritual of circumcision is performed.
And now I'm going to tell you, like I said before, these are not from the tribe of Judah. I will explain that to you after this video, where Jesus Christ, that so-called, everybody calls him Jesus Christ, right? So-called Jesus Christ. His name is in the Bible. That's not his name. It's Yahweh Shai. So he comes from the tribe of Judah, and I'll explain his features because his features have a lot to do with knowing who's the real and who's the fake, who's righteous, who's wicked. So I'll explain that to you.
But in some ultra-Orthodox communities, religious leaders, known as moyals, also engage in something controversial during the bris. In a practice known as Metzitze Bepe, or just MBP, the moil actually uses his mouth to suck the blood from the infant's penis after he cuts off the foreskin. Meant to prevent infection and serve as a celebration of life, News 12 has learned the little-known practice has turned into a curse for life for some babies involved in our area, and it's all because of a local rabbi who's alleged to have a sexually transmitted disease. The rabbis are going to take care of it. They won't let him get away with it. According to these documents we obtained from the State Health Department, Rabbi Yitzhak Fisher of Muncie has been tied to at least 3 herpes infections in babies, one of whom died back in 2004. Shortly after the tragic death, Rabbi Fisher was forbidden from practicing NBP in New York. But despite this state-issued ban, one concerned mother tells us the infected moil is still placing innocent lives at risk.
Fast forward a little
They
bit.
should be arresting Rabbi Fisher.
And we think he's a good person and he's doing it right.
This is part of our law, what we have to do.
Not so, says Rabbi Yehoshua Krohn.
It makes me cringe.
The 5th-generation moil lives just minutes away from Rabbi Fisher, but practices MBP in a very different way.
Judaism mandates that we do this mitzvah, this commandment, but in a way that is na'im, which is sweet, meaning that there is no hurt. The point is that there is no harm to the child. In religious circles where they want the metzitza b'peh, we use only the tube. And for those that want it over and beyond the tube, or call someone who will do it that way for them.
But you never know when that someone else could have a sexually transmitted disease. Just last month, yet another baby got infected with herpes after undergoing NBP in Orange County. Now, Rena is on a mission to spread awareness about the dangers of oral suction, something her own son went through without her even knowing.
Oh, that's all. I'm showing you the actual images and videos that were captured. I don't really care what they have to say because, for one, they're not who they say they are. With that being said, let's go into Revelations chapter 3, verse 9 through verse 11. Behold, I will make them of the synagogues of Satan, which say that they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and know that I have loved thee. So right here, he's specifically talking to the tribe of Judah. You know, these bastards are going to bow down and worship Judah for reals, like no other. As they say they are, and they're not, you know. And by the way, Jewish, that's kind of the God. Now, what? It's not even what you're supposed to be using when you're talking about God's chosen. You know, the apple of His eye. It's I, it's just derogatory word. But okay, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptations, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. And behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So right there, he's telling you, you know who you are, and you've been patient, and the Lord is coming. Yahweh Shai is coming. So we just have to be patient, so you don't lose your crown. The crown's something you want to keep your entire life. It's going to be a beautiful thing to see those who are being oppressed right now, especially the tribe of Judah, to have that crown, and for these bastards to worship them. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Let's go into Revelations 1 and chapter 1 and verse 14, where I'm getting at to you, where Yahushai is a dark-skinned man that comes out of the tribe of Judah. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they were burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. So right there, that's giving you a description of what he looks like. He comes from the seed of Joseph. He was a dark man. You need to understand that. Colossians chapter 2, verses 11 through 14. And whom also ye are circumcised with the circumcision made without hands, and putting off the body of the sins of the flesh by circumcision of Christ, buried with him in baptism, wherein also ye are risen with him through the faith of the operation of God, who hath risen him from the dead. And you being dead in your sins and the uncircumcised of your flesh, hath he quickened together with him, having forgiven you all trespasses. Forgiving you all trespasses. Blotting out the handwritten of ordinances that was against us, which was contrary to us, and took it out of the way, nailing it to the cross. Having spoiled the principalities and powers, he made a show of them openly, triumphing over them in it. So regardless, he's he's still gonna he's still cleansing us. Regardless, he's cleansing our hearts. He's cleansing our bodies as we believe in him. um Romans chapter 127. And likewise also the man, leaving the natural use of the women, burned in their lust one towards another, man with man, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves the recompense of their errors, which was met. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not covenant, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. go to Jude chapter 1 verse 10. But these speak evil of the things which they know not, but what they know naturally. As brute beasts in those things they corrupt themselves. I mean, that's why I didn't want to let the women talk in that thing, because like I said, they're faked, and the men are fake. They're not who they say they are. They're not those Jewish people. Yet alone, these women that are following them don't understand. They don't know. They're already confused as it is. You go down as well into verse 11. Woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain, and ran greedily after the arrow of Balaam for reward, and perished in the gainsaying of Kor. So they have gone in the way of Cain. And if you guys don't know what that way is, we'll find out right here in Genesis 4, verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. So he killed him. You're killing, you're wicked. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not, am I my brother's keeper? So he's already being rebellious. And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. So that's a curse already. It's he killed, he shouldn't have killed. So we already know who they are, what spirit they hold. It's that same way. It's wickedness, it's not righteous. Shalom, brothers.